name is Yahushua. In him lies the only hope for salvation. We know that it is obtained by grace through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast, and given freely as a gift to all who obey him. We understand that if you do not obey him, it is made obvious or made manifest that you do not believe. In this state, you should expect no good thing from the Most High. However, anything that you do get, whether it be a gift of tongues, a gift of prophecy, or any supernatural experience that you may have, it can and it will be used against us in the day of judgment. With that said, peace to the saints that are in the room, to the saints that couldn't make it, to the saints watching in on the camera, but no peace to the wicked. The only thing we say to them is repent that they might live. Woo! Where are we starting off today? 12? All right, we'll take it 12. Give me a book, Max. Just give me a book, any book.
Green eggs and ham?
Goodness gracious.
Cat in the Hat?
What we got, Mark? Give me a book, any book. Come on, dig into your little Christian.
You about to say something
You got a little Christian in there. Go ahead and dig into it. Just give me a little bit. Just give me something. What we got, Mark? Any book.
Joshua.
All right, so we got Joshua chapter 12. Zakai, give me a number, any number.
5.
Okay, it's Joshua chapter 12, verse 5. Let's see how it works. Let's see how we can pull it together. Joshua chapter 12, verse 5. I'm trying to think. Joshua chapter 12, verse 5. Joshua 12.
You're probably marching.
That's dividing the land, ain't it?
I don't know. I think that's later.
When they, yeah, that's later. I think they start dividing the land like closer to 20.
That's when they scrapping.
All right, this is Joshua chapter 12. It's verse 5. Let's see what the book says.
And reigned in Mount Hermon and in Salca and in all Bashan unto the border of the Geshurites and the Maachites and half Gilead, the border of Sihon, king of Heshbon.
Okay.
Them did Moses, the servant of the Lord, and the children of Israel smite.
Okay.
And Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave it for a possession unto the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half tribe of Manasseh.
Okay.
Talking about the other side of the Jordan. And these are the kings of the country which Joshua and the children of Israel smote on this side of the Jordan, on the west.
Okay.
From Baal Gad to the valley of Lebanon, even unto the Mount Halak that goes up to Seir, which Joshua gave unto the tribes of Israel for a possession according to their divisions.
Okay.
In the mountains, in the mountains and in the valleys and in the plains and in the springs and in the wilderness and in the south country, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. The king of Jericho, 1. King of Ai, which is beside Bethel, 1. King of Jerusalem, 1. King of Hebron, 1. King of Jerumoth, 1. The king of Lachish, 1. King of Eglon, 1. King of Gezer, 1. King of Deber, 1. King of Geder, 1. King of Hormah, 1.
You say you listening to this?
King of Libnah, 1.
You understand what we listening to?
1. The king of Makeda.
They documenting
King of Bethel, 1.
What they documented right now. They documented all the kings
They got whooped out.
that we were there. You have to understand. You got to understand like how we approach this situation. Just imagine this, right? We are captive. We slaves, right? In a country called Mitzrayim, right? Which we now know as Egypt. Slaves, right? Some fellow who was taken in, almost adopted, right? By the Kemet people, right? By the Egyptian people, right? He adopted them, but he's actually a Hebrew. He's of the slave people, but then, he kind of get to move around like he Egyptian. He stand up one day and say, let my people go, or the Most High God gonna do this, this, and the other to you. All the things that he said came about. Eventually, they let him go. They chase them, they get swallowed up by some water. So these people just disappear into like the desert somewhere, right? Word starts to travel, you hear about these people. It's the people that be in the desert, right? Because we have a couple scraps in the desert. So we start to come into this land, and the people hear about, not only did, in their mind, did we take down the Egyptians, but we took down a couple people in the desert. And now y'all coming up to Canaan. So these are all the kings in Canaan, and these boys is scared of us. We scared of them. But they scared of us just based off of what they heard so far. Right? Word didn't travel like, man, I don't know what's going on with these people, man, but they've been knocking stuff over. Right? So then we come into this land, and then one by one, these kings is falling down by our little nation. We ain't even got no fighting experience like that. We out there knocking these boys down. Why? Why are we knocking them down? How are we successful?
The Most High God.
The Most High God. He doing stuff like he's sending hornets out there to get these boys, sting they butt up before we get to them. It's all types of stuff happening that gives us the advantage, where otherwise we wouldn't have the advantage. What happened with Jericho? With Jericho, we just walked around. Jericho got these big old walls. Ain't no way we getting through these darn walls. There's no way we getting through these walls, right? Most like God was like, just walk around that thing a couple times, right? We walk around it, we sound our horns, shout some stuff, walls just come tumbling down. Everybody just scared the whole time. They on the inside spooked, scared of us. We scared of them. It's way more of them. Walls just come right on down. You know what we did? Step right over the rubber, got their butt. So they're listing out all the kings under miraculous circumstances that we took down. This is important for us because there's a man that came, right? His name Yahushua, right? This guy's name, what's his name?
Yahushua.
Yahushua, right? We say what? What did it say his name is?
Yahushua, the son of Nun. Joshua.
It say his name is Joshua, right? Because Yahushua translated into English, when you translate directly from Hebrew into English, is Joshua. Yahushua, when you translate it into Greek, Latin, and then English, becomes Jesus. Exact same name in its origin, right? Its origin, right? So you look at this, and you're like, okay, Joshua, son of Nun, took us into the land, right? We came from slavery and into the land under Joshua. And then you have Yahushua, who promises to do the same thing. He promises that he gonna come back to a people that are newly in the land, that we gonna have to go through a wilderness, that Most High God said that he gonna bring us back just like he did in Egypt, right? So we look at this and we say, we took out all these kings. I wonder what's gonna happen this time. Who ever heard of the Battle of Armageddon? Anybody ever heard of that? The Battle of Armageddon. You know what's special about that battle? What makes that battle unique?
It's the end of the world. The whole world came together in one place.
All representatives of all nations, just about, right, are gonna come and fight at Israel. The same place that we documented this king got knocked down. One. You know what I'm saying? He didn't call him one. Look, one. You know what I'm saying? Got him. One. Got him too. One. Jerusalem. One. The king of Acca. One. You know what I'm saying? They done. Right? So what it's depicting to us is there's many nations that came here and we ran through all of them. What you think gonna happen in the end? These people gonna think they fighting against us. Just wait until we get to Revelation. We're gonna open this thing up. Wait until we get to Revelation. These people gonna think they fighting against us. They gonna be mad at us because we escaped out of America and out of South America and out of Europe and all these different places that our people are scattered. We escaped all these places. We went to the wilderness. We end up getting into our land, right? They gonna be looking at us like, hey boy got us messed up. Cause you gotta imagine, we gonna talk about it, but you gotta imagine it's all type of stuff going on in the world, right? All types of plagues that hit the world. Guess what it say about Israel? Guess what we got coming out of Israel?
Water.
We got fresh water. Everybody else, you know what they dealing with? You know what I'm saying? It was, the Revelation say something like, it's like a mountain, like the top of a mountain dropped off into the water, and it was wormwood and poison.
Like a burning mountain or something like that.
And it poisoned all the water. So imagine that. There's one place, I'm in America right now, right? Oh, I got all these resources. Everything looking good for me. Get these little Negro slaves. All right, whatever, these plagues hit us, man, go on. Get your butt up out of here, right? And all of a sudden, the wormwood hit. Start messing up my resources. Now I ain't got nothing. In the place where I said it was okay for you to go, that got the only fresh water now. No, I mean, water's so good, when it touch something, it heal it. It's special water. You know what I'm talking about? Everything else just getting poisoned and messed up. You can't even drink it. But that water, if it touch something, everything just come back to life. What you think gonna happen? How long these people been in Iraq?
Like the troops fighting?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, years, long time.
Since like 2001. That's 19 years. 19 years these boys been in Iraq. Something close to that with Afghanistan. We ain't never had no problem with Afghanistan, y'all. Like it ain't never been like no, you know what I'm saying? Like Afghanistan ain't never like popped off at us like, yo, what you want to do? You know what I mean? It never happened. This all under the guise of we got to stabilize the Middle East to make sure that there's no terrorism. But guess what's over there? Resources. Resources. There's oil over there. There's poppy over there. You know what poppy is, right?
It's like for drugs, like opium or something like that.
That's opium. That's heroin, right? They got it over there, right? Y'all done seen American Gangster, right? Yeah, where they flying the heroin over in the plane. That ain't no game. Like that's real. That's real. That's a real life. It's documented. You know what I'm saying? Y'all heard about Iran-Contra, right? Where they traded guns for drugs and money, and you know what I'm saying? And somehow the drugs get dropped off in a lot of black neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? You got eventually became President Clinton, but you know what I'm saying? You had Clinton, who was the governor of Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? And he had an airport in Arkansas where he allowed, you know what I'm saying, the CIA to fly in cocaine, you know what I'm saying, and drop it off in Arkansas, and then from Arkansas it just got distributed. They're doing the same thing in Florida, all these different places. All this stuff is about resources, right? I'm gonna put my military in places where I can protect resources, where I can say, hey, well, if you wanna get to this poppy field, you gotta do such and such, right? Nah, you can get to the poppy field, but you gotta do such and such. We protecting this. What we really doing is, we gotta make sure there's no terrorists here. It take 19 years to do that. You know, crazy? What was all the rave a couple years ago? What terrorist was just killing the game, chopping off heads, all types? ISIS. We done forgot about ISIS, didn't we? A minute, they were chopping Christians, throwing Christians off a building. When they tell us that? They said, hey, chopping off Christian head, throwing them out. We forgot all about ISIS. What happened? Y'all want to know what happened? Trump. Because Trump, he's not in the same program. Like, you got these regular politicians, they know the program. Trump wasn't going for that stuff. Like, that's stupid. That don't make no sense. Trump got here. ISIS was gone in like a month, bro. A month. Obama was struggling with it the whole time. He wasn't really struggling with them because it's part of the plan, right? But Trump get in there like, nah, we blowing the lid off of this thing. They're like, oh, ISIS dead. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't afford that. They're gone. Don't know what happened to them. They can't, all of them gone. Do you understand how ridiculous that is? Out of nowhere, they're just gone. Not even an issue no more. Nobody thinking that they was bringing them up to us like that was gonna be the problem for the next 100 years. These boys were gonna take over the whole Middle East. And I was sitting there trying to figure it out, like, how in the world can a place that they ain't even got no country, we got fighter jets, we got all this stuff, and you mean tell these boys is riding around on darn camels with bazookas?
The gang. You know
what I'm saying?
That's a little gang.
They running the show? It don't even make logical sense. They're like, oh yeah, they're getting their money from oil. So I'm like, hold on. They getting their money from oil. Y'all got radars that'll pinpoint these folks. You mean tell, because if you want to transport oil, how do we transport oil here? If the gas station is empty, what you see pull up? Big old trucks, got like 2-3 trailers on them full of gas, right? So if you transporting oil, how in the world you doing that and I can't see it in the middle of a desert? I got planes, I got jets flying over everything, all types of radars. I'll blow your darn, or if I wanted to, right? If I didn't want you to move, I'll blow all your stuff. What's wrong with you, boy? Then I'm gonna follow you and say, look, I can't sell a dime bag right now without a cop following me and find out who I got my dime bag from. You mean tell me I'm driving a 2-trailer oil rigger in the middle of the darn desert? My tracks is in the desert. What you guys want, like some sweep them up? I can just like, oh no, don't even stop them. We know exactly where they came from. Blow up the whole thing. Nobody's done that? We can't find where they getting the oil from? We can't get to it? We can't drop a bomb on it. We drop the bomb on everything else. We can't drop a bomb on their oil. These people telling lies. These people just telling lies. Trump get in, that thing done. Trump said, this thing don't look good for America. He said, they're like, oh, good. ISIS gone. Don't know what happened to him, Trump. You know what I'm saying? ISIS gone. He bragged about that thing. Like, yeah, you remember ISIS? Yeah, no, I don't either. I don't remember ISIS either. These people make a fool out of us because it's all about resources. So you have to know that this is what those people are going to do. When we got the resources, right? When our whole rest of the planet is gone and they looking at us for resources, they coming to get it. And it's going to be all of them. And that's when it's going to be a fight. We're going to talk about it. Where we leave off last week? I need some water. I wish I had a son that loved me. Look at that. Look, he just fixed his darn feet. Got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got nothing, you know what I'm saying? I wish you had one too. You know what I'm saying? Goodness gracious.
Mom said them boys jump.
Oh, yeah, them boys. There go. Get the water out of the depths of Africa. You know what I'm saying? From mama. Goodness gracious. Carry that thing back on their darn head. That's all right. That's my baby girl. She gonna take care of me.
John 16. Yeah, sure hope my daughter do, because my son's a bunch of nothing.
We left off John 16.
Yeah, we finished 16.
All right, let's do John chapter 17. We almost there now, y'all. We getting close. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all sure he running them out. Y'all sure trying to run them out. He trying to get everything out before it's go time. You know what I'm saying? Because he got a lot of stuff to say. He looking like, oh man, my time is short. So this gotta happen. You know, he got a lot of stuff to try to say because he know it's you know what I'm saying? It's almost over now. It's John chapter 17. Let's do verse 1. Let's see what the book say.
These words spake Yahshua, and he lifted up his eyes to heaven and said, Father, the hour is come. Glorify your Son, that your Son also may glorify you.
Okay.
As you have given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as you have given him. And this is the life eternal, that they might know you, the only true God, and Yahushua the Messiah, whom you have sent.
Okay.
I have glorified you on earth. I have finished the work which you gave me to do. And now, O Father, glorify you.
Look what he had. This is powerful right here. He said, I have glorified you on earth. Right? He talking to the Father. He telling the Most High God what he did. I have glorified you on earth. What else he say?
I have finished the work which you gave me
to do. He said, I did everything you told me to do. What else?
And now, O Father, glorify
He said, but
you.
now, this is what I'm asking of you. I glorified you on earth. And everything you told me to do, guess what? I finished it. So now, if it's okay with you, you know what I'm saying? Watch what he asked.
Glorify me with your own self, with the glory which I had with you before the world was.
Do you understand the significance of what he just said? Glorify me with your own self, with the glory that I had with you before what?
The world was.
That man just called himself God. I wish I could remember where it was. Most High God say it in the scripture. He said, can't nobody have my glory.
He said, I will not give it to another. Glory is mine. I think it's Jeremiah, maybe.
Look that up for me, Daniel.
And I will not give it to another.
Yeah, my glory, I will not give it to another. Right? Because we look at it, you have to understand, these people, there's a lot of people that tell you, no, Yahushua was just a prophet. Or Yahushua did. You got to call the man a liar then. Because the man just he just looked up into the sky. Ain't that what he did? Didn't it say, read the first chapter.
And he lifted up his eyes to heaven.
He just looked up. That's what the man did. He looked up just like that. He was like, man, I had enough of this foolishness. I didn't glorify you. I did everything you told me to do. So if it's okay with you, you know what I mean? Would you mind putting me back in the place where I used to be by your side. I used to be the man. I'm down here with these darn peasants. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to pick up and poop and pee and, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand, like, this stuff that I shouldn't have to be dealing with. My back be hurting after a long day. You know what I'm saying? My darn feet, I've been working, you know what I'm saying? He's looking like I shouldn't have to deal with this. If you don't mind, can you put me back where I was?
You talking about in Isaiah?
Dang it.
What did it say?
I am the Lord, that is my name, and my glory will I not give to another. Neither my praise
That's
to
enough.
images.
Yeah, it's Isaiah, man. I thought it was Jeremiah, bro.
He said, I am the Lord. I am, what did he say? I am Yahuwah. That's his name, right? He said, and my glory will I not give to another. And then you got this man looking up in the sky talking about, go ahead and glorify me, you know what I'm saying, with the glory that I had with you. What you mean you had with me? Because that man's God. That's him. You got to get that thing straight. Like, this thing don't even work out if you ain't got that part straight. None of this stuff fits together. The problem with a lot of people when they read the Bible is they don't require, you know what I'm saying, not just people who read and learn it. I'm talking about these people who think they understand it and know it and teach it and all this stuff. They don't require that this thing fits together, right? The Most High God, they look at the Most High God like it's just like he just do whatever he want to do, and he does. But the Most High God is so precise and so orderly. You have to think about it, right? What type of person, right? What type of man would say, I can do whatever I want, but to get to what I want, I'm going to create a man named Adam and then a woman named Eve, knowing that they're going to eat from this tree. Right? Knowing that this tree is going to send us into you, all right? They're going to send us down a spiral, right, of all these problems, just so I have to go and I have to save the day myself. I have to make myself a darn man. I'm going to have to die on the cross. And then more time go by, people still running them up. Then I'm going to come back, punish them, and I'm going to separate the real from the fake. And once I do that, that's the end game that I always wanted. Like in our minds, he could have just snapped his finger and got to that end game, right? But that's not him. What he does is he plays it all out. He goes through the full process. People ask like, man, well, why do God even have to, I mean, if he already know I'm going to be a sinner, then why I even got to go through that? Because your butt, you know what I'm saying, because he's a fair God. You know what I'm saying? He ain't going to put you in a position where you be like, man, you don't even know what I would have did. You just sent me to hell right away. No, he going to prove that thing to you. You ever been in a position like that? Like, man, I don't even want nobody to try to accuse me like I'm cheating. Like, you know how it's going to play out. Be like, man, I don't want them. No, please. You know what I'm saying? Nah, go ahead and do it. No, go ahead. You can do it. You know, I've been doing that to my sons. Like, Dad, can I pour my own juice? You ain't going to do nothing but make a mess. No, don't I tell y'all that? You ain't going to do nothing but make a mess. No, I can do it. All right, go ahead and do it. When you make a mess, I'm going to whoop your butt. Right? Let them make a darn mess. Be like, all right, come on, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Whoop your darn butt. Because you look at it, I know how it's going to play out, but you know what? Just for your sake, go ahead and do it so I can tell you. Right? Go ahead and do it because you got to prove it out for yourself. You want to know. When you do that, guess who's justified? In that case, me. In the Most High God case, he's always justified. Because he know how it's going to play out, and he allow us to play it out and make a fool out of ourselves. Because he know for a fact, if he just fast forwarded, we'd have been like, man, but you don't even know what I would have did. How you know? So he allowed us to play. I like to believe he bring that thing up. I like to believe he got this big old screen like a 375 by, you know what I'm saying? By 420 screen. You know what I'm saying? That thing like big old screen like this, you know what I'm saying, on Judgment Day. That boy sitting down, I like to believe he in a chair. That thing like leather, you know what I'm saying, like some cracking leather we ain't never seen before. That boy lean back like that on there, and then he open up the book, and he look at you, and he start telling you, well, this is what the book says, this is what you should have did. But that's what happened. He pull you up on that big old screen, acting a fool, doing all the stuff, and I like to believe we sit there the whole time. He play out your whole life. Right? I like to believe we sit there the whole time and he just play, you know what I'm saying? I like to believe that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us will live long, you know what I'm saying? He play 80 years or 90 years, however long the Most High God give us. Play that whole thing out. Right? And we just sit there and got to watch with the I ate poop face. Like, No, I did it. I did it. You know what I'm saying? I did do it. I ain't gonna say I'm watching. I did it. God, I did it. We all see I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're looking for. So we got to put ourselves in a position that when that day comes, who we want in our corner?
Yo, shoot.
We gotta have a defender, somebody, an advocate, right? Somebody be like, listen, if the state, you know what I'm saying, if the state agrees, we'd like to, you know what I'm saying, we'd like to reduce the charges against Philip for the last 80 years of his life to a righteousness, because for the last 10 years, he was obedient to you. The state agrees. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you want to have. You want somebody to negotiate the thing, be like, well, you know what I'm saying, he did everything I told him to do. You know what I'm saying? That's probation for us. He did that. You know how probation works, right? Anybody been on papers? No? Thank the Lord. You know what I'm saying? My brother on papers right now, right? So, like, he was telling me that, like, he can't be around felons. So he said he went somewhere with a friend of his, not a felon, but his friend's cousin is a felon. His cousin happened to be there. And guess who happens to pop up? Parole officer. Parole officer told him, that could have been it. That's it. Like, that's all it takes. And you back in jail. A mistake. That's all it takes. That's how the Most High God is. He put us in a position, he's like, listen, all you got to do is follow these rules. Right? You keep your nose clean. You stay away from all these people. You stop doing all these things. Don't worry about it. You stay free. You know what I'm saying? And when you go, the next time you go to court, you ever been to like on a traffic ticket? They say, okay, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta complete this many community service, and you gotta complete this class or this driver class or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, and then you gotta see the judge again, don't you? What happens if you didn't do them classes? Judge can be like, all right, well, you know what I'm saying? We said we were gonna reduce it to a parking ticket, but nah, now you got the whole thing. That thing's a full speeding ticket. You owe $3,000, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the amount is, plus the fees, you know what I'm saying? This, that, and other for wasting our darn time.
About $500, $600.
Right? Or might put you in jail, hold you in contempt, depending on your history. Right? Well, that's how the Most High God is. Like, when you're gonna have to see this man. If you do everything you're supposed to do before you see him, charges drop. Charges drop, dismissed. Right? If you don't, you get the full punishment. Let's keep going. What's up?
And then one part it says that, what do you say? It's the part they talk about, like, if you, like stop sinning, but then you sin, but then you do sin. Then it's saying, like, the sins you had that you had is back on you and what you did.
Well, they don't remember. You don't remember it. You don't remember the righteousness that you did, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That boy says this is
It's fair. Like, if a person who is a sinner completely changes, right, he gets life. But a person who was righteous and then goes back to sinning, he gets death. Like, it's fair. It's like, okay, I gave the person who was a sinner life because he started doing righteous. You were good, but when you turn to a sinner, it's like, now you got to get death. So it's like, it's fair on both sides.
Yeah. He even asked a question in Ezekiel 18. He said, is my way not equal? In other words, is my way not fair? Y'all keep on talking about God ain't fair. Are you trying to say I'm not fair? If you sin, if you was righteous all your life, and all of a sudden you sin, I'm going to forget your righteousness, right? And I'm just going to see you as a sinner. But if you sinned all your life, and then you turned into righteousness, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to forget your sin. I'm going to see you as righteous. He looking like, is that not fair? He said, that's the epitome of fair, right? That's what we have in front of us. That's the offer that we have in front of us. All we got to do is do it. You know what I'm saying? We just got to take advantage of it. Watch the book say. This is John chapter 17.
Verse 6.
John chapter 17, verse 6. Watch what the book says.
I have manifested your name unto the men which you gave me.
When he
out
say
of the world.
manifested, what does that mean?
Made obvious.
He's made obvious his name, right? So in other words, the man said, I ain't hiding this thing. Everybody know who I represent, right? Keep going.
Thine they were, and you gave me them. Mm-hmm. And they have kept your word. Mm-hmm. Now they have known that all things whatsoever you have given me are of you. Mm-hmm. For I have given unto them the words which you gave me, and they have received them and have known surely.
This is important. He said, I have given them, right, the words that you gave me. So who'd the word come from?
The Father.
The Father. Gave it to who?
Yahushua.
Yahushua. Now watch what he say. I have given them the words which you gave me. So Yahushua gave it to who?
The apostles.
The apostles, right? The disciples, you know what I'm saying? The disciples that became apostles.
Yeah.
Right? So he said, I gave it to them. Now watch this.
And they have received them.
All right, so they got it. They got what I gave them, and I got that from you. Right? Now watch this.
Excuse me. And have known surely that I came out from you, and they have believed that you did send me. Mm-hmm. I pray for them. I pray not for the world,
but
said, for them.
I pray for them, the disciples who he gave the word to, right? Who he got from the Father. He said, and I pray for the world. Watch this.
I pray not
for the world, but watch this.
But for them which you have given me, for they are yours. Uh-huh. And all mine are yours. Uh-huh. And yours are mine. Uh-huh. And I am glorified in them. Uh-huh. And now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I come to thee.
Okay.
Holy Father, keep through thine own name those whom you have given me, that they may be one as we are.
Now watch this.
While I was with them in the world, I kept them in your name.
Okay.
Those that you gave me, I have kept, and none of them is lost, but the son of perdition, that the scripture might be fulfilled. And now I come to you, and these things I speak in the world, that they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves.
Okay.
I have given them your word,
I have given them your word.
and the world has hated them,
Uh-huh.
because they are not of the world, even
Okay.
as I am not of the world.
Okay.
I pray not that you should take them out of the world,
He said, that's not my prayer that you should take them out of the world.
but that you should keep them from the evil.
Okay.
They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Sanctify them through your truth. Your word is truth.
Sanctify them through, what does sanctify mean?
Make holy, separate, set apart.
Separate them through your truth. So understand what he's praying for. He said, look, I'm looking out for them, right? First, I'm not praying for the world, but I am praying for the ones that you gave me. A lot of people, these Christians never going to tell you that the Most High God, they're going to say, who Jesus died for?
Everybody.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever shall believe in him shall have everlasting life. Right? That's what they tell us. And that's exactly what the books say. Right? Same God sent his son, and he telling you, I ain't praying for the world. He made that abundantly clear. They ain't nobody even asked him that. Nobody asked him who you praying for. He is like, man, I'm praying for my people, man. I'm praying for the disciples. I ain't praying for the world, though. That sounds like something we'd say, right? Yeah, I ain't get on us, man. Y'all always gotta talk about some Christians. They gotta be getting on us. I'm just telling you, y'all sure we're doing it too. Oh, we getting it from, right? The only is in there. I ain't praying for the world. I pray not for the world, but I pray for the ones that you gave me. And of them I've lost no one, except for the son of perdition. But that was according to prophecy. That's what he's saying. He's like, that was according to prophecy. That had to happen, in other words. Right? Watch this. Keep going.
As you have sent me into the world, even so I have also sent them into the world. And for their sakes I sanctify myself, that they also might be sanctified through the truth. Neither pray I for these alone, but for
He
them
said,
also.
neither pray I for these alone. Right? So he already told you, I'm praying for the people that you gave me, the disciples, right? I'm not praying for the world. Then he come down a little bit, but I'm not just praying for these. I'm praying for some other people too. Who was he praying for?
Them also which shall believe on me through their word.
That's important. Right? Because the word came from the Most High. It was given to Yahushua. Yahushua gave it to the disciples. And now he's saying, I'm not just praying for the disciples. I'm also praying for the people who believe on me because of the disciples' words, which they got from me, which I got from the Father. So you have this chain.
That's why Paul could say, these words that I speak is the commandments of God.
Anyone who does not walk orderly according to my gospel is how Paul said it. You look at that, what do you mean, your gospel? That's God's gospel. That's how a Christian look at somebody now for saying that, right? That's God. And they'd be right for doing that if somebody came out right now. Because his prayer wasn't for Philip, that believe on me because of Philip's word. No. If it was that, then I could just run it off from the mouth. We wouldn't have to read from it. Right? Everything I got come from this. That's why it's important that we hear the word. Not just hear me running my darn mouth. We got to hear the word talk. Because if you believe on him from this word, guess what?
He praying for you too.
He praying for you. Right? Keep going. Watch this.
That they all may be one, as you, Father, are in me, and I in you.
Okay.
That they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that you have sent me. And the glory which you gave me, I have given them, that they may be one, even as we are one. I in them, and you in me, that they may be made perfect in one, and in that the world may know that you have sent me and have loved them as you have loved me. Father, I will that they also, whom you have given me, be with me where I am, that they may behold my glory which you have given me For you loved me before the foundation of the world. O righteous Father, the world has not known thee, but I have known thee, and these have known that you have sent me. Also, I have declared unto them your name, and will declare it, that the love where you have loved me may be in them, and I in them. That's it.
That's in 17?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, y'all ready? Where we got to jump to? Did we finish off 26? Matthew 26, sorry.
Nope.
You remember where we left off?
That's like the one time I did. Wait. Nope, because I didn't write that down. I wrote Matthew 26, but I didn't give a verse. Hold on. I remember.
Trying to see if I can figure it out. Pick us up at.
We on like 28 or something like that.
28. All right, that'll work.
Like that. Yeah, so we'll do 26. Because I remember that Judas asked the question. He was like, "You said it." So that was the last thing I remember.
Now we passed that though. Get past the dinner. Pick us up about 36. Is that too far?
No.
All right.
No, because he said, if you got a sword, bring it. And then he was like, yeah, do you believe? Okay, yeah, we good.
Yeah, we talked about the sword.
Yeah.
This is Matthew chapter 26, verse 36. Matthew chapter 26, verse 36. It's go time now, y'all.
Then comes Yahshua with them into a place called Gethsemane, and said unto the disciples, sit here while I go and pray over yonder. And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Then he said unto them, my soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even unto death. Wait here and watch with me.
Right? So you got to understand that Yahushua is dealing with this, right? He like emotionally, right? He already knows what's about to happen, right? Because he's blessed from the Most High God to have this understanding, right? His experience is totally a human experience. It's like it's the same experience that we have. It's just that he has the Spirit of God like that is him. You know what I'm saying? Like he is the Spirit of God. So at the same time, he has all this wisdom, right? And it's just purity in him, right? So what he's dealing with is, I know that it's meant for me to die. Like I know I'm about to die. But at the same time, I don't want to die, right? So he's dealing with that. He's like, I'm grieved right now, and I'm grieved even unto death, right? Watch this.
And he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, "Oh."
Right. So they all gang, right? All of them together, right? He's like, hold on, I'm about to go over here and pray. You know what I'm saying? Y'all relax real quick. So he go a little further than they were. Then he did what?
Oh, my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me.
Right? So he's praying to God. Remember, he just got done. Look at this guy. Glorify me. You know what I'm saying? I know. I finished it. I did it all. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and glorify me like you did before. But he knows what that means. That means I got to die. You know what I'm saying? Like for me to be glorified again like I was before, I got to die. Right? So now, after having that prayer, he walking down, he like, whew, dang it, I know what got to happen. This thing about to be rough. So now he looked down, he like, man, I'm grieved even unto death. And let me go over here and pray again. You know what I'm saying? This time he wouldn't do it privately. But look at the differences of the prayer. Right? The first prayer was like, oh, God, you know what I'm saying? You know what I do. I'm praying for them. He even said in the prayer, for their sakes, I've been sanctified. Because he's like, let me pray them for them. This prayer is for them. Well, this one is for him. He like, just let me, you know what I'm saying? Y'all chill. Let me go up over here. Because this one is a personal prayer. He's not doing this for show. He's not doing this to teach anybody anything or to give anybody anything. He's looking like, man, I'm dealing with this. Watch how the Most High God that is in man, watch how he responds to his troubles.
Oh, my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me.
In other words, the cup always usually represented wrath, right? A punishment or a wrath. So, you know what I'm saying? You would have like, the Most High God would say, you know what I'm saying? He'd take a prophet, you know what I'm saying? He'd say, prophet Jeremiah, go take this cup of wine, you know what I'm saying? And go give it to all of these kings. So Jeremiah would literally take this wine and take it, and he'd travel all the way to these kings, and he'd give it to the king and say, here, you know what I'm saying? And he'd drink it, because the Most High God said this is the cup of his wrath. So in other words, when you drink it, you drinking down his wrath. You know what I'm saying? That thing is all over you. Don't even worry about it. He's going to kick your butt, right? So when he say that, you're going to die. Yeah, that when he say that, that's what this represents. He is like, let this cup pass from me because I'm about to face your wrath. Give this cup to somebody else, right? So in other words, I don't want to die. Let this cup pass from me. I don't want this punishment. He doesn't deserve it. He didn't commit a sin. This is our punishment that he's taking on. So he's starting to feel that now. He's like, man, it's getting real. We getting close. I already know how this got to play out. All right, let this cup pass from me. Let somebody else take this. But watch this.
Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will.
Right? But he has the wisdom to know, I know it's foolish what I'm talking about. I know how I got to play out. So nevertheless, not what I want, however you want it to go down. Right? Watch this.
And he comes unto the disciples and finds them asleep and says unto Peter, what, could you not watch with me 1 hour?
Them boy fell asleep. Because remember, he went further. You know what I'm saying? So they just looking, they just kind of, you know what I'm saying, they get kind of tired late. So they looking like, you know what I'm saying, is that nothing? So, you know, I don't know, I guess tomorrow we should probably keep the Passover, you know what I'm saying, somewhere else. I don't know, we'll figure it out tomorrow. Let's see. Right? So they start going to sleep. Y'all sure get done praying. He come back and he's like, y'all sleep? Because you got to understand, in his mind, like, he understand what's about to happen right now. He like, man, y'all boys, what's wrong with y'all? I've been with y'all this whole time trying to let y'all know what's about to happen, and y'all sitting there sleep? Y'all still think everything's a joke? Watch it. Keep going.
Watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Right? He's saying internally, your spirit, you have energy. All of us have this, right? Like even sometimes sitting here, I'm pretty sure y'all be sitting here and y'all be like, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? It changed my life, this, that, another, this, that, another. And then you get out there and it just be like, yeah, maybe next week. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what he's telling you. Like, listen, I understand y'all walking with me and y'all feeling like y'all in the moment and y'all think this is something great's about to happen. He's saying the spirit is willing. You got the spirit is like energy, right? So like you got the energy to, you know, you got the feeling like this is going to happen. Yeah, your emotions, they're like an energy, all that is spirit, right? So it's like the spirit is willing. However, the flesh is weak. Right? Keep going. He's trying to teach him a lesson even in this. Keep going.
He went away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, your will be done.
Right? So he's looking at him like, in other words, the prayer is, I mean, I know I'm supposed to go, but if there's any other way to get this done, you know what I'm saying? Like, if there's any alternative that you just haven't told me about yet, you know what I'm saying? I'm down for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can try something different. I mean, I'm just saying, if there's a different way, I understand if this is how I gotta go, I'm down. I'm just saying, if there's also another way, I'm also down. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? We got options. I just haven't discussed options with you. You know what I'm saying? So he's looking at it and he just keep making this prayer. Watch this. They give us these short lines, but you gotta imagine this is a long prayer because they had time to fall asleep. Watch this.
And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. Mm-hmm. And he left them and went away again and prayed the third time, saying the same words. Mm-hmm. Then came he to his disciples and said unto them, Sleep on now and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Mm-hmm. Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand that does betray me.
So he walking into the trap that he already know is set. He looking like, oh man, so look, y'all sleeping now, but it's about to happen, right? The Son of Man talking about himself. I'm about to be betrayed, and they about to put me in the hands of sinners. These boys about to do me in, right? You got to, like, from their point of view, they trying to put all these little pieces together. From their point of view, they looking like, you ain't never done nothing wrong. What they gonna do? Okay, they get you. What they gonna do, right? That same thing Judas was thinking. That's why Judas is the one who betrayed him. He looking like, yeah, I'll take the money. What you gonna do, take him to court? You gonna beat them charges like Rocky. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you talking about? All right, for sure, give me the money. I'll show you where he is. That's easy, right? Because you're looking at it, I'm gonna take the money from you. My man's gonna beat these charges, and we gonna be out in the Jordan River baptizing people next week. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? This ain't gonna be easy. You know what I'm saying? So watch what happens.
And while he yet spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12, came with him, a great multitude with swords and staves.
So remember how we got here, right? Yahushua was preaching in front of all the people, right? But they didn't take him. Why didn't they take him?
It feared the people.
They knew that a lot of people rocked with him. They thought he was the Messiah. So they was like, we better not get him here because we might cause an uproar with the people. So now they called him in private. The only way they could do that is with Judas, who was his man, right? He is one of the 12 disciples. Caught him slipping. Judas showed him where they was. He was like, all right, now we can take him in private. So they came with a whole bunch of folks. Watch what Yahushua say.
From the chief priests and the elders of the people. Now he that betrayed him gave them a sign, saying, whomsoever I shall kiss, the same is he. Hold him fast.
Remember, there's no wanted posters. There's no Instagram or anything where they know what he looked like. So he was like, look, whoever I kiss, that's the one. All right, watch this.
And forthwith he came to Yahushua and said, Hail, Master, and kissed him. And Yahushua said unto him, Friend, why are you come? Then came they and laid hands on Yahushua and took him. And behold, one of them which were with Yahushua stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear.
All right? So Peter, he drew down on him. Right? They grabbed Yahushua. He's like, man, what you whack it? Cut off a dude's ear. Quick. So remember, before, a couple weeks ago, we read, Yahushua, he told them, before I told y'all, when y'all go out, because remember, Yahushua sent out all the disciples. He's like, when y'all go out, don't bring nothing with you. Don't bring a bag. Don't bring nothing. Whatever you get when you go, that's what you deserve. You don't need to bring nothing with you, right? He is like, before I told y'all, don't bring nothing with you. I was like, but now comes the time that you need to bring your stuff with you, including the sword. And then they pulled out 2 swords. And then when they asked him, well, let's do, he's like, that's enough. Because this is all the setup. Yahushua was like, I know how this got to play out, right? So then Peter has his sword for that reason, because he told him, it's time to bring your sword. That's a trap for Peter, right? So then they run up, they gaffle up Yahushua. Peter react like, hold on, don't be touching the homie. Bow, you know what I'm saying? Chop off his ear. Watch what Yahushua do.
And behold, one of them which were with Yahushua stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear. Then said Yahushua unto him, Put up again your sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Do you think that I cannot now pray to the Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels? But how then shall the scripture be fulfilled, that thus it must be?
All right, so he's letting them know, listen, this is how I got to play out. Right? If I wanted it to play out any other way, don't you think it could happen that way?
So I got goons up there.
We ain't got to grab it, but if you look at, I think it's John. I think it's John.
He healed his ear in John, I think.
Let me see, hold on. Yeah, I think it's John. If we grab it.
You know my daddy got goons he can send out here right now. He pulled the strap on you just now.
Let's do John 18. I think that's what it is. All right, 18:1. Watch this. Remember, we just came from John 17. So this is going to kind of recap the same thing that we just read.
When Yahushua had spoken these words, he went forth with his disciples over the brook Kidron, where was a garden, into which he entered and his disciples. And Judas also, which betrayed him, knew the place, for Yahushua oftentimes resorted there with his disciples. And Judah then, having received a band of men and officers from the chief priests and Pharisees, came there with lanterns and torches and weapons.
Right, the boy came burning down. You know what I'm saying? To get the man. Like the man, I ain't never done nothing to nobody. Man, they came burning down for the homie. Right, watch this.
Yahushua therefore, knowing all things that should come upon him, went forth and said unto them, Whom do you seek? And they answered, Yahushua of Nazareth. And Yahushua said unto them, I am he.
Watch this.
And Judas also, which betrayed him, stood with him. Stood with them. As soon then as he had said unto them, I am he, they went backward and fell to the ground. Then asked he
You see that?
them again, Whom do you seek?
Right? So he messing with him. It's important that he did that. So they came, they look at it. Judas standing next to him, tip him off. Everybody looking around like, is that the one? So Yahushua just asked, who y'all looking for? We looking for Yahushua. I'm him. Then after that, everybody fell back. They like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was that? Everybody. You know what I'm saying? Then he asked him again, watch this.
Whom do you seek? And they said, Yahushua of Nazareth. And Yahushua answered, I have told you that I am he. If therefore you seek me, let these go their way. That the saying might be fulfilled which he spake, of them which you gave me I have lost none. Then Simon Peter, having a sword, drew it and smote the high priest's servant and cut off the right ear. And the servant's name was Malchus. Then said Yahushua unto Peter, put up your sword into the sheath. The cup which my father has given me, shall I not drink it? Then the band and the captain and officers of the Jews took Yahushua and bound him and led him away to Annas first.
All right, so you look at it, he had to show them first, at any moment, this thing could be over. Like, I'm Yahushua, they try to get him, everybody just fall back. Right, he's showing that y'all ain't got no power over me. Right? Then he asked him again, if y'all looking for me, after you push him back, you gotta imagine, like, I'm trying to get you, whoa. You know what I'm saying? No, what y'all doing? I'm right here. You know what I'm saying? Who y'all seek? I asked y'all who y'all seeking. If y'all looking for me, come get me. Then the second time they was able to get him. Then Simon Peter cut off his ear. And they don't say it in this one. It might be Luke where he said it, or Mark. But he on one of them, it tell you that he grabbed his ear and healed it. Right? Because he had to make sure that you whole. You know what I'm saying? Now you committed, you know what I'm saying? You committed it. You just chopped off his ear. So now you got a punishment that got to come. Which is why the speculation of how Peter dies. You know what I'm saying? You live by the sword, you got to die by the sword. Same thing with Paul, right? Paul had to live by the sword because he put some of the disciples to death. So he had to die that way, the speculation of how he died. You know what I'm saying? So you look at it, the Most High God is setting everybody up, even the people that ride with him. Nobody gets by. That's important for us to understand. Like, we can look at it and be like, man, look, I think the way I can do this here, I sin, live it up. And right before I'm about to die, I give my life to Yahushua. Right? That could be our plan. It's a whole lot that go wrong with that plan. But let's just say it happened the way we think it's going to happen. The Most High God is the type of God where he'll be like, yeah, you on your deathbed, got cancer, you know what I'm saying? You feel like you about to die right now, huh? I'm about to make you suffer for the next 20 years now. Your butt ain't going to be able to move. And you just saved and sanctified too. Don't commit another sin after that. But he will cause you to suffer for the remainder of your life and add years onto your life just so you can suffer. Because nobody escapes. Grab, what I want?
2 Samuel, 1 Samuel.
Nah, I want, what I want? Exodus.
Wait.
30, right? 34?
No.
No?
It's
You sure?
before that. It's like when they first get out, like 12 or 13.
No way.
Yeah, like when he was like,
No way.
by no means clear to give.
Yeah, when that,
That's
no
like
way.
in the beginning.
No way. It's after the commandments, because he is like you remember they had a discussion about you know what I'm saying, I'll show you my glory, you can't see my face. It was after the commandments, after the temple. It got to be like 30 something.
You might be right.
Try 34. If I'm right, he owe me a donut. What do you think? Exodus 34?
I don't know. I think that thing was in the beginning.
It can't be 32, right? Can't be 32. I don't think it's 34
It's
either.
not 34. That's the second tablets of stone.
No, that's it then. Maybe it's 33. Give me 33.
All right, let's see.
Is that it? It can't be 32.
Yeah, it's got to be like right after the golden calf, because that's when cause Moses was begging like
That's 33, ain't it?
God to get right off. Nah, that thing like
Golden calf is 32.
that's 30. Yeah. So hold on.
Should be like 33. What verse 14 say? If it ain't 33, it got to be
He said,
34.
my presence shall go with the.
Yeah, man, it's 34 then. Because that's where he set it up, and I think 34 is when it happened.
All right, hold on. Okay, yeah, 34:7.
This is chapter 34, verse 6. This is Exodus chapter 34, verse 6.
6.
Exodus chapter 34, verse 6. Watch what the book say. It's okay. Move your foot.
All right, so it says.
Exodus chapter 34, verse 6.
And the Lord passed by before him and proclaimed, the Lord God,
Yahuwah God,
merciful and gracious,
merciful and gracious,
long-suffering and abundant in goodness and truth.
Look, all these good things. I'm long-suffering. What long-suffering mean?
Patient.
I'm patient with you, right? I suffer for a long time with you. I go through it with you for a long time, right? And what else?
In goodness and truth.
And abundant in goodness and truth.
Keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression.
Look,
sin.
I keep mercy for thousands of people. I forgive iniquity for transgressions and sin. You know what I'm saying? Watch this.
And that will by no means clear the guilty.
After he say, I forgive, right? He come back and be like, but by no means do I clear the guilty. We have to understand that. A lot of people try to use coming to Yahushua as an escape plan. There's no escape plan. Nobody gets by, right? There's no way to, like, you know what I'm saying? You got to come in one way. And what way is that?
To the door.
By the door. You come up through the back door. You come up through the window. Anything else, guess what you are?
Thief and a robber.
A thief and a robber. Only way to get in is through the door, straight through the door, right? Nobody's gonna escape. So that means that anything that I've done in my life, even if, what's a good example of this?
King David, Jacob, you can take King Manasseh. It's a couple of them.
King David, right? Let's take King David. King David, he was forgiven for his sin. We ain't got to get it. Most High God said, I've pardoned you, right? He told him flat out, I've pardoned you. And then right after that, what he said in the next 17 verses doing?
The sword shall not depart from your house.
Tell him exactly how he going to pay for it. He told him, I pardoned you. That's done. I forgave you. But this is what's about to happen. You about to have a baby, the baby going to die. Right? After that, you did what you did privately. But now, your whole mess, your family drama, going to be aired out in front of everybody. I mean, you're going to have your son sleeping with your daughters. You're going to have darn your sons sleeping with your wives. You're going to have your sons fighting with you over your kingdom. He let them know, he give them the whole game, like, your whole stuff, like, you did it private. Don't nobody know what you did. Nobody. That thing private. Guess what? You about to have the biggest soap opera in the world right now. Everybody about to be tuned into your drama. And don't forget, your baby gonna die. So he got a baby. He's in there praying. Huh?
No.
No. You know what I'm saying? So he's just praying. I think it was 7 days, right? He just fasting and praying. He ain't ate nothing. His people, because he's a king. People worried about him, like, man, you got to get a little food in your stomach. He's looking like, nah, man, I can't do it. Right? After that, baby dead. Because the baby was sick. The baby was alive for a little bit. The baby was sick. He's like, man, I just hope, you know what I'm saying, just maybe, most of our God just give me a chance. Baby died. After that, he was like, all right, give me something to eat. Because he knew what was going to happen. He's just like, I was just trying to see, you know what I'm saying, like maybe, you know what I'm saying, most of our God give me a shot. All right. Right? Nobody gets by. Like, there's no cheating in the system. There's no game in the system. Like, you going to pay for everything. It's just that how do you want to pay for it?
Yeah, buddy, Christians can't wrap their head around that one.
Yeah, it's a tough concept, right? The only thing come down, Yahushua, he gave us a parable. He said, there's two ways, right? You can either fall on the rock and be broken, or the rock can fall on you and you can be crushed into powder. right? Those are the only, like, neither one of those options sound pleasurable. Neither one of them sound like, oh yeah, give me that. But one definitely sounds better than the other, right? You're like, sure, I can take being broken. You know what I'm saying? You break a leg and like, all right, you can put a cast around that. You know what I'm talking about? What if you take a leg and just grind it into powder? You think you get that leg back? That leg is gone. That arm is gone, right? So you want to fall on the rock. You don't want the rock to fall on you. Yahushua is that rock, right? You want to be able to fall into him. It's going to hurt. You're going to break. You got to change. You still getting it, right? But at least it's something that you can come back from, right? Keep going. Let's see what we got. Jump back over in Matthew, actually. Matthew 26. Where do we leave off in Matthew?
Verse 54.
It's Matthew chapter 26, verse 54. Let's finish up this chapter. It's Matthew chapter 26, verse 54. So, you know what I'm saying? What happened? Ear got cut off. Yahushua healed it in a different place. We didn't read that yet, but he healed it, and then they gaffled him up, and they taken him. Watch this.
But how then shall the scriptures be fulfilled that it must be, that thus it must be? In that same hour, Yahushua to the multitudes, said to the multitudes, are you come out as against a thief with swords and staves for to take me?
Watch this. He said, so y'all came out like I'm a thief? Y'all got all of y'all burner down for me? Watch this.
I sat daily with you teaching in the temple, and you laid no hold on me.
He like, I've been with y'all every day. Y'all come out here like this for me. I've been out here every day teaching. Y'all ain't do nothing then? He asked them a question, but we know why, right? Because they knew they wanted to get him, but they knew if they would have got him, all the people would have been like, no, man, he a prophet. Then the other people would be like, no, he ain't no prophet. And that would have caused this big old riot and all this stuff. And that's what they trying to avoid. They are trying to avoid causing a riot. Why are they trying to avoid that?
Because if they riot, Rome gonna come through and shut it all down.
Because of Rome, right? Rome has their territory. We're already known, just like now, we already known as an unruly people, right? In fact, after this, riots began. And that's why Rome took out our nation. That's how we got to where we are now. Because after this, you had two splits in Israel. You had people that believed in Yahushua and people that didn't. And they start fighting. People that believe start getting put to death. And they start taking cases to Rome all the time. And all that. We're going to read that in Acts, right? All these different things. So that caused Rome to get involved. And eventually Rome had enough of it. And they took the whole nation out. And they just conquered it. And they tore down the temple and they did everything, right? They got us out of there, took us as slaves, put us in Europe. That eventually pushed us down into Spain and Portugal. Spain and Portugal got tired of it. They pushed it down into West Africa. The Moors got tired of us. They snitched on us to Spain and Portugal, told us, hey, this is where they are, and a whole bunch of, and that's how the slave trade started. All that stuff is connected, like the whole thing. It's just us being pushed further and further and further until it's like, get they butts over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, put them way over there.
In the new world.
All right? Put us in the darn new world. Goodness gracious.
Most High God was like, I'm a
you know, they looking at it like, oh, no, it's some resources over there. All about resources every time. It's some resources over there. Have them clean that stuff up. What you say, cotton? What's that? Oh, no, they can pick that. Oh, you got sugar? You know what I'm saying? You got molasses over there? Oh, yeah, no, have them harvest that. Right? So all these different things, they say, no, put them on and put it on there. And that's how we get to where we are. I should keep going.
But all this was done that scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled. Then all the disciples forsook him and fled. And they that laid hold upon Yahushua led him away to Caiaphas, the high priest.
Y'all see what happened though? All the disciples, what they do?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to imagine, you looking at it, you like, nah, we innocent. We ain't never done, we know we ain't never done nothing, right? All of a sudden, you see the most innocent out of all of us get gaffled up. And they treating this man like they about to kill him, like he didn't kill somebody. What you gonna do?
That boy got go.
Pew! Ain't nothing faster than the pew. Right? And he told him beforehand. He told me, like, man, listen, I know you ride with you. I know you think you ride with me, but the time is gonna come. He like, remember a couple weeks ago we read? They was like, oh, you speak to us plainly now. You know what I'm saying? Now we believe. And he asked, he's like, do you now believe? Because I'm telling you what's about to happen. Y'all about to all leave me scattered. And this is what he was talking about. They jetted. Because they looking at it like, if any of us is innocent, it's him. And y'all just snatch him up like he just, you know what I'm saying? Like he a terrorist. They're like, oh, let's get out of Dodge. Watch this. Keep going.
And they that laid hold upon Yahushua led him away to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. But Peter followed him afar off unto the high priest's palace.
Right? So Peter wasn't watching, but he ran, so they don't know who he is. So Peter watching, but he did it afar off. He did, you know what I'm saying? You gotta like to imagine with a binocular. Like, I'm kind of looking at, all right, no, he good. I'm trying to see what they gonna do to him. Talking mess to himself, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, they put their hands on him, I'm gonna come over there. You know what I'm saying? But look, I ain't seen him put their hands on him though, you know what I'm saying? He just kind of looking. But he just watching out, trying to see where he is, trying to look out for his boy. Watch this.
But Peter followed afar off unto the high priest's palace and went in and sat with the servants to see the end. Now the chief priests and the elders and all the council sought false witness against Yahushua to put him to death, but found none.
So they was looking for, the chief priest, they was looking for somebody to say something against them. You know what I'm saying? Because they need something to charge them with. They had like, all right, we need, and our law said we got to have witnesses. We got to have somebody to say, hey, this is what happened. And then somebody else to confirm it, at least one other person to confirm it. They looking for, okay, so who, you know what I'm saying, we about to put them on trial. Who got something on them? They just openly, like, who got something? Like, you know what I'm saying, who got it? They looking for false witnesses. What happened?
And said, this fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and build it in 3 days.
So y'all remember that in the very beginning when we was reading? He did say that, right? He didn't say, I'm able to destroy it, but he said, destroy this temple and I will rebuild it in 3 days. So now they looked at it, they interpreted that as him saying, he said he is going to destroy the temple. But he was talking about himself, right? He was saying, if you destroy me, I'm going to raise again in 3 days. You know what I'm saying? But he said it like that on purpose. It's a trap. So now they looking like, oh man, he said he's going to, so that make him a terrorist now, right? He said he's going to destroy the temple and then rebuild it. This man is crazy. Watch this.
And the high priest arose and said unto him, answerest thou nothing?
Right? So you got to, they don't really paint the picture all the way, but Yahushua is just sitting there. So you got a picture like a whole crowd of people, right? That's just totally against them. They yanking them, pulling them, treating them bad, right? And then he like, hey, who got something on them? Everybody out here running their mouth, but none of it worked. Then somebody was like, well, he said he was going to destroy the temple and do it and bring it back in 3 days, right? And so then Yahushua just sitting there. Like you would imagine, normally you'd be like, no, I didn't say that. What you mean? Yahushua just like, to the high priest looking at him, answer this yourself, nothing. You ain't going to say nothing, right? You ain't got nothing to say. Watch this.
What is this which these witnesses say against you?
He's like, what they saying? Is it true? Is it you? Right, watch
Is
this.
it Photoshop? But Yahushua held his peace, and the high priest answered and said unto him, I adjure you by the living God that you tell us whether you be the Messiah, the Son of God.
Stop touching that, boy.
And Yahushua said,
Hold on. So if you look at it, right? All this stuff the high priest talking to him, he didn't say a word. But then he said, I adjure you by the living God that you tell us. At that point, what does Yahushua have to do?
You got to answer.
He got to answer. Because that's the high priest talking to him. And what does our law say?
Don't disrespect the high priest.
Right? You can't rebel the high priest. The high priest has the authority in this situation. So since he's saying, I have to answer, Yahushua has to submit to that authority because of the position that he brought himself in. Right? So Yahushua at that point, watch, he answered. The whole time he been quiet. He wouldn't say nothing. Right? Pleading the fifth. Then he said, I adjure you by the living God. That's the high priest now. Most High God gave that man authority over the land. So he's looking like, all right, watch what he answered.
You have said.
Hold on. His question was, he said, I adjure you by the living God, tell us whether you are the Messiah or not. Right? That was his question. Watch what Yahushua say.
Thou have said, nevertheless I say to you.
In other words, he said, you said it. Right? In other words, I agree with what you say.
That's right.
Watch this.
Hereafter you shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven.
That's a prophecy from the book of Daniel. So in the prophecy of the book of Daniel, it talks about a son of man. That's why he always calls himself son of man. It talks about there's a son of man that comes on a cloud. Right? And he comes, and when he comes, he judges the world. We all understand that to be the Messiah. So he says, he didn't call himself Messiah. He just described the same scene of the prophecy that describes the Messiah and applied it to himself. Watch this.
Then the high priest ripped his clothes, saying, he has spoken blasphemy.
Right? So the high priest knew what it meant when he quoted that prophecy. He was like, nah, this is blasphemy. He just flipped out. He like, this is it. Watch this.
What further need we of witnesses?
Right? He's saying we don't need any more witnesses. We all heard him just say this foolishness out of his own mouth. Watch this.
Behold, now you have heard his blasphemy. What do you think? And they answered and said, he is guilty of death. Then did they spit in his face and buffeted him, and the others smote him with the palms of their hands.
What do you mean buffeted?
They punched.
They struck him. After that, they spit in his face. They just sitting there. A bunch of people. It's a bunch of people. Then they buffeted him. Bow. And they did what with the palm?
Smack him, hit him with the palms of their hands. Smote him with
Right?
the palms of their hands.
They smacking him up, punching him, spitting on him. Right? He's just sitting there, taking it all. Right? What else?
Saying, prophesy unto us, you Messiah. Who is it that smote you?
They mocking him now. Right? Because there's so many people. Hey, smack, go ahead. You the Messiah, huh? Bow! Tell me who just smacked you across your face then. Because you got to imagine he getting smacked, his eyes closed, everybody hitting him. He's like, oh, what? Bow! Which one was that? Since you the Messiah, go ahead and prophesy. Tell me who did it. Bow! Spitting on him and stuff. Right? Watch this.
Now Peter sat outside of the palace, and a damsel came to him, saying, you also was with Yahshua of Galilee.
Right? Now they looking for the homies. Right? So a damsel, a woman came to him like, you was with him. Yeah, nah, you was with him.
You already know how that goes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I saw you out there. I be seeing you walking around with him. That's you, ain't it? Watch what Peter said. Remember, Yahshua told him, you gonna deny me 3 times.
You must be one of them rolling 60s. He was like, nah, man. But he denied before them all, saying, I know not what you say.
Uh-huh.
And when he was gone out into the porch, another maid saw him and said unto them,
It's always the
that were
women,
there,
right? Another woman called him like, you Yahshua boy, right? The one that just got gathered up. That's you. Watch this.
This fellow was also with Yahshua of Nazareth.
Look, and she a hater. She just said it out loud. He was also with him. Out loud. People like, you making it hot. Like, what you doing? Watch this.
And again he denied with an oath, I do not know the man. And
Watch
after
it.
a while came unto him they that stood by and said to Peter, surely you also are one of them.
Right? So it said after a while. So this is later. He got out of those 2 situations. Then later on, some more people came to him like, no, I'm pretty sure that was you. I'm pretty sure that was you. Watch what Peter said.
Surely you also one of them, for your speech betrays you.
Right? He like, you talk like them boys. You from Nazareth. This is a country. I mean, it's a city. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you talk like the boys from that city. Right? Watch this.
Got that Oakland accent. Then began he to curse and to swear, saying, I know not the man.
That boy started cussing. I was like, man, look, boy, I don't know nothing about my mama. I just been blank on my mama. I don't know nothing about him. He started wigging out. Because he knew if he stayed with him, guess what's about to happen?
They gonna get him.
That boy would have got. That's why Yahshua told us, like, man, look, I know y'all want to, you know what I'm saying, be the greatest in the kingdom and all that, but y'all not willing to do what I'm about to do. That had to be proven out. That's why them boys had to scatter. He had to prove it out. Like, I know they with me, but these boys ain't willing to go as far as I'm about to go. Because if they was, then they would have been the ones. So when it all go down, them boys had to be shown, like the Most High God had to prove it to them, like y'all wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all was there, but y'all was never there.
Y'all not from my neighborhood.
Yeah, y'all ain't about what we about to do. We about to do something crazy in here. Them boys looking like, man, I don't want no part of them. Peter, the most witted one, he denied 3 times. The rest of them, they can't even be found. They bet on the next ticket. They got the next ticket back to Nazareth. Them boys out of there. You know what I'm talking about? Peter, the most witty, he at least like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what y'all doing? Nah, it ain't me. That ain't me. What you talking about? I was just passing through. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to do with that. Right? Watch this, though. Keep going.
And Peter remembered the word of Yahushua when he said to him, before the cock crow, you shall deny me 3 times. And he went out and cried bitterly.
That boy's like, oh, man. You know it got to hurt. Stop touching that boy. You know it got to hurt. Because it ain't like in their mind. It's like what Yahushua tried to tell them. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So on the inside, they mind and everything is telling them like, man, I'll die for this, man. I'll do this, that, and the other. But then you come down to it and things happen and it's happening faster than you can kind of calculate and prepare for it. And you just reacting. And after a while, you look at it and be like, just like the man told him, I denied him 3 times. Like he knew he did it. And then you just feel ashamed, just like, ugh. It's important that we look at these emotions that the disciples went through. Understand that these men went on to give us what we looking at now. That's like one of the most powerful things to me. It ain't like the way the Christian put it, like, oh, Peter was this and this, that, and other. No. You have to understand that this is like you're gonna feel these emotions when you approach the book. You're gonna feel like, man, just the man is right. The man said I wasn't gonna understand the book, and it was like he gonna be speaking a different language to me, or speaking in a stutter. And I look in the book and I can't understand it. I'm trying to read the Bible and that just doesn't click for me. And I'm having a hard time with it. When you read Romans chapter, the end of Romans chapter 7, when Paul kind of breaking it down like, oh, what wretched man that I am. He's like, man, I want to do right, but when I want to do right, I still do wrong. You read that stuff and you're like, man, this thing is for real. Right? Now, Christians will take that and be like, see, nobody can be perfect. Nobody can stop sinning. Even Paul said that. Not reading on to the next chapter where he said, but now in Yahushua, now in the Messiah,
We good.
sin has been conquered. They don't read that far. They ain't interested in that part. They just want to hear about, oh, look how tough it is, guys. See, we all go through it. Yeah, we all go through it.
No one can
But
do it.
we gotta conquer it. And what do you think Peter did? After that, Peter conquered it. It took for that. It took everybody. Grab Romans chapter 3 real quick. Try not to go into the New Testament too much because we got to go through it. But literally Romans chapter 3 real quick. If this thing ain't real to you, man, it ain't never going to connect. This stuff is real. This is like real life. These are real people that went through this stuff. He's looking like, can you put yourself in that position like you walking with this man in your mind, man, I'd do anything for this dude. He the realest dude I've ever met in my life. He doing miracles. The man is the most wise person. I ain't never seen him do nothing wrong. He told me to put a net. I've been out here fishing all darn day. He told me put the net right here, and I just got done fishing right there. I pulled too many fish. I ain't never pulled that many fish. This man is the truth. He taught me everything. Everything I knew before this man, it was worthless to me. He taught me everything I need to know. And I only knew the man for a year, a little over a year. In your mind, it's like, man, I'd do anything for this dude. They tried to get my man, I'll chop the dude's ear off for him. What you mean? Don't touch my boy. But guess what? After that, jet.
Thing got real.
Then I denied him 3 times. But I haven't realized it. It's not like I'm like thinking about what's happening. It's just happening to me. Then you look up and be like, dang it. And that's what happened to us. Or it'd be worse though. We be serious, like, man, I'm ready to change my life, this, that, and other. Blank, 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 you know what I'm saying? I said 5 cuss words, just like that. Right? Get that text message, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, jump right in her DMs. Quick. And next thing you look up, like, oh, man. This stuff is real. But that don't mean that you count it out. All that means is you got to stop playing. What do you think Peter did after this? That man went on to go save souls after this. You see, man, when you see this man raised back up, you see that man get back from the ground, you be like, man, it's the realest thing I've been a part of. After that man was serious. We get in the Acts, and you gonna see how Peter ride with it? Because now he know. He look at it and be like, man, I ain't got no time to be playing no more. And that's what we all got to do. We got to pass that time for playing. But this is the stuff that we got to look at to pull from. These people ain't been teaching us nothing. They've been giving us this bubblegum stuff, so we don't have nothing to pull from to gather the spirit to actually overcome. They just be giving us this feel-good stuff. Making us feel like it's okay to keep sinning. Everybody keeps sinning. No, everybody sinning. It's impossible to stop sinning. That's why Jesus died. Did he? Did he die so I can keep sinning? Does that make sense to anybody? Does that look like any God that we've ever read about in this Bible?
The whole book is saying stop doing
The whole book begging your butt, stop sinning. But somehow, these people get from it, he died so that you can keep sinning. He died so that your sin won't have any effect anymore. Stop that lying. I don't know what's wrong with these people. How you play with the man's word like this when you looking at, you just can't believe it. That's the only way I can look at it. You don't believe it. Because I'm looking at what happened to these men. I'm looking at the people in this book go through, and I'm looking like, oh, there's no way that you believe what's happening when you playing with this man's word like that. I mean, even if you as an individual wanted to keep sinning, it ain't no way I would lie on the book. There's no way I'm going to add to my sin and say, you know what? On top of the fact that I'm about to go to hell, I'm about to send y'all to hell too. I just don't get these people. Like, I know you going to hell as a leader, as a teacher, right? Leader, as a teacher, as a pastor, whatever you do, I know you going to hell. You about to just sit there and let you just about to tell these people all these lies and just be okay with it. All right, man. All right, that's the judgment y'all got to deal with. Keep going.
What advantage then has the Jew? Mm-hmm. Or what profit is there for circumcision?
Drop on down to verse, 17, maybe 13? Let's try 13. This is Romans chapter 3, verse 13.
We'll do 9.
9?
Yeah.
9 is always good. This is Romans chapter 3, verse 9. What does the book say?
What then? Are we better than they? No, in no wise. For we have before proved both Jews and Gentiles that they are under sin. They all are under sin. Mm-hmm. As it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. There is none that understands. There is none that seeks after God. They are out of the way. They are together become unprofitable. There is none that does good, no, not one. Their throat is an open sepulchre. With their tongues they have used deceit. The poison of asps is under their lips, whose mouth is full of cursing and bitterness. Their feet are swift to shed blood. Destruction and misery are in their ways. In the way of peace they have not known. There is no fear of God before their eyes. Now we know that what things soever the law says, it says to them who are under the law.
Who is under the law?
Everybody.
Is it? Who's under the law?
Our people were.
When Moses gave us the law, he said, this law is going to who?
You and your children.
You and your children. That's us, Hebrews. We under the law. So whatsoever things the law said, guess who it say it to?
Us.
Those who are under the law. Watch this.
That every mouth may be stopped, and all the world may become guilty before God.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight. For by the law is the knowledge of sin.
He said by the law is the knowledge of sin. So therefore, nobody going to be justified by the law. But watch this.
But now the righteousness of God without the law is manifested, being witnessed by the law and the prophets.
Uh-huh.
Even the righteousness of God and upon all them that believe, for there is no difference. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God.
Right? So everyone has sinned and come short of the glory of God.
This is where they get the it's impossible thing from.
This is what the Most High God has to prove to us. Remember we said there's going to be a trial and all this? This is what he has to prove. For those of us who realize it now, we can take a plea bargain. If we take it all the way to trial, we're going to lose. But for us, those of us that get convicted now, be like, look, I'll plea out. I'll take the plea bargain. I'll take the deal. I'm guilty. I messed up. This is what I'm going to do according to what our advocate, Yahushua, tell us to do. Right? Then that's how we get the deal and we get out of prison. Our charges get dropped. Right? That don't happen if we don't acknowledge it. He's proven to us right now. That's what Peter had to be proven. Peter in his mind, man, I got this. I'm with you. It had to be proven to Peter in his mind like, oh, I messed up. So that's why the man went away weeping. It takes that experience to say, oh, okay, I've fallen short of your glory. I get it now, like in a real way. It ain't just something I heard, like I get it in a real way. Right? Watch this, keep going. He said, all have fallen short? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is Yahushua the Messiah.
Okay.
Whom God has set forth to be a propitiation through faith in his blood to declare his righteousness for the remission of sins that are past.
The remission of sins that are past, present, and future?
That are past through the forbearance of God.
What version you reading?
King James.
King James. That's the problem. See, you reading the King James. Read the New Standard Christianized Apostolic Church version for me, Daniel. And if you read that version, it's going to tell you he died for the past, the present, and the future sins. Where do these people get that stuff from? He died for the past, present, and future sin. The books say it. He died for the past sins. So let's just look at it. You make a timeline. Okay, so I'm sinning. Timeline stop. Stop sinning. What did he die for?
Past it.
All these sins. Right? Everything from here to here. He died. So then if I sin again right here, did he die for that? No. So that means I got to stop sinning right here. Then he'll die for the past sins. Our problem is we say, I got saved right here. And then we keep sinning. But listen, if I got saved right here, this is where God saved me. And I'm righteous right here. But then I sin right here. And I don't acknowledge that, no, I'm still a sinner. What's going to happen?
You're going to die.
That sin ain't paid for. Therefore, none of the sins is paid for. Grab, because people think I make this stuff up. Grab 1 John. It's 1 John, chapter 3. What I want, 6? It's 1 John chapter 3, verse 6. Because they just think I make it up. If they ask somebody to teach them the book, they realize all this stuff we be talking about, right in the book. Right in the book. It'll blow your darn mind if you actually read it. For understanding. Right? Watch this. It's 1 John chapter 3, verse 6.
Whosoever abides in him sins not.
He said, if you abide in Yahushua, you do not sin. Watch this.
Whosoever sins has not seen him, neither known him.
If you sin, you've never seen him, nor have you known him. That got that. So, I'm sinning. I got saved, right? God saved me. I came to God, went to the front of the church, and this is the marker of my life. God saved me, right? Okay, so all this, forgiven. Okay, but then I sin again. Do I know God?
Whoever sins has not seen him, neither known him.
So if this Christian is saying, I got saved September 31st. Is there 30? There ain't no 31st in September.
No.
That's how you know they lying. That's how you know they darn lying. They got saved September darn 31st. 1999. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was walking down the street after church, and I just saw, they always come up with some grandiose lie. I just saw the heavens darn part. And you know what? The sun, it stayed in one place for the space of 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? And right there, I just felt the presence of God just fall all over me. They do all that. Then you catch they butt sinning. Well, you know, brother, he died for past, present, and future sin. It's the grace of Yahweh, the grace of Jesus. That's what they're going to say. They ain't going to say Yahweh, sure. The grace of Jesus. Praise God for his mercy. Because I ain't perfect. But get they mix a whole bunch of Bible verses that, you know what I'm saying, they ain't even using them right. Because in my weakness, his strength is magnified. Like, they ain't even how I go. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So they look at it and they just make a mess of all this stuff. But in reality, what they saying is, I've seen God and I know God, but I'm still sinning. The book just said, if I what?
Whoever sins has not seen him, neither known him.
So if I say I see him and I know him, but I'm sinning, that means what for me?
You're a lie.
Grab Hebrews, what I want? Hebrews 8 or is it Hebrews 10? I think it's Hebrews 8.
When you say what?
Judgment.
10.
There's two of them though.
First comes the judgment.
Try 8 for me.
First death, then the judgment.
No, I'm looking for
That's 10.
I'm looking for there remains no more. There remains no more sacrifice.
Is probably 8.
Yeah, look it up for me, Daniel, so we don't kill too much time.
Maybe 7.
It might be 7.
Because it's right after, I think it's around 6 or 7.
Well, look it up. Let's see. Let's see if we can get to it first. Right? Because we look at it, it's all about, we ain't got to grab it, but Leviticus, right? We look at Leviticus 26. Leviticus tells us at the very beginning of the book, it tells us God is looking for a couple things. He said, all I want you to do is confess, right? In other words, admit that you was wrong. Admit that you've been walking contrary to me. In other words, you've been walking against me. You've been not doing what I told you to do. And that I have been walking contrary to you. And it's that last one that's so difficult for people. It's very difficult for people to say, God ain't been messing with me. We all want to say, yeah, we admit that we messed up. Yeah, it's been a rough life and I've been messing up. But you know what? Guess what we say? You know what? God been by my side the whole time. Telling that lie. Right? And the Most High God specifically, what he asking you for? Just admit that you've been walking contrary and I've been walking contrary to you. And this is the same idea. We sin, but we want to pretend like I still know God. I still see God. I still love God even though I sin. Instead of admitting like, nah, according to your book, I don't rock with you. Sure, I know some Bible verses, and I be going to church all the time, and I be singing and praising, and I really feel all that stuff. But obviously, because your words say that, your word got to be right over my experience. Like, no matter what I go through, your word got to be correct over everything. And since people can't do that, they put their experience. They put this sun opening up and this presence of God flowing over them. They put that over the word. So guess what? It don't matter what God say. I know I'm saved.
That thing be boring to them. I just tell people, like, I just read it.
Yeah, just read the book.
Yeah, just read the Bible. Oh.
Yeah, just read the book. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to it. Just read it. Now just opened it up, start reading it. You know what I'm saying? Really? They want some great thing. I'm trying. Listen, I kid y'all not. If I popped out tomorrow and be like, I saw a vision, guys.
Yeah, everybody be on your own feet, boy.
I could be preaching the same stuff. I preach the same stuff. I just tell people, God came to me. I have to look right into the camera. You know what I'm saying? You got to do something dramatic. God came to me. You know what I'm saying? And then give them some grandiose story about it. Oh, these people would eat it up. They'd be, they looking. Now, you know what I'm saying? I tell Daniel, come up here. Come up here, Daniel. You know, you got to walk like you got a limp or something, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there we go. You know what I'm saying? Come on, do it on camera, though. Y'all can't see him, but he's limping right now. He's limping right now. Stand right here. You know what I'm saying? You give him the mic. How long have you had this limp, brother?
All my life.
Oh, you were born with the limp?
For all my life.
you were born with the limp.
For the gusto.
Look, you were born with the limp. Watch this. Brother, let me tell you something. This towel can only be found in one place. This was dug up out of Israel. God showed me this towel. I traveled to Israel by boat. I dug up this towel. And it has the blood of Christ. It dripped down from the cross into the ground, and it metastasized to become this towel. Let me see your leg, brother. And he walks. You know what I mean? To get doing all that. Let me tell you something. This house would be packed up. I have my own private jet. You know what I'm talking about? This is what these folks looking for. This is what these folks looking for. You give them the straight word, bro. They looking like, that thing don't make no sense. That thing, this is the cool thing, and they know it's right. They know it's right. You know, many people I run into, friends, people I didn't even know, people I didn't even know, they just tell me, nah, I be watching. No, I be watching, brother. You be speaking to you. Oh, for sure, that's cool. I ain't never even spoke to you though. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't never reached out. You never asked a question. You never asked me to pray for you. You never came by. You just silently watching, huh? And keep living the same way you've been living. That's a shame. That's a shame. It don't make no sense to just keep, look, let me tell you, it don't make no sense to sit here, hear the truth, just to still go to hell. That thing don't, look, that thing just don't make no sense, because what's gonna happen? Now when you go, and you got that big screen that's showing you everything your life ever did, Most High God, guess what's gonna be on that big screen? He gonna pause and be like, you heard some truth just now. He gonna pause it right at that moment. You were sitting there listening to the truth. He told you exactly what you need to do. Yeah, but still didn't do it. That's for it.
Catch a cat.
You look at this stuff. This stuff is real life stuff. You find it for me?
It's 10:26. Yeah.
It is 10?
It is 10.
All right, look at it. Watch this. 10:26.
For if we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remains no more sacrifice for sins.
That ain't what I'm looking for. I want the other one.
But a fearful looking.
No. I want the other one. It's another one. That was cool. It say enlightened. That's what it is. Look for enlightened.
Man.
Enlightened.
It is possible.
It's the same idea.
6:4.
6:4?
6:4.
This is Hebrews chapter 6, verse 4. Watch this. Watch this. So you gotta understand the dilemma that people gotta deal with, right? We got one verse that's telling us, if you sin, you've neither seen him or what?
No.
You don't know the man if you sin, is what one is telling you. And watch what Hebrews tell you.
For it is impossible for those who were once enlightened and have tasted.
What does enlighten mean?
To know the truth. Come to
To know.
Come to the knowledge. Yeah.
So in other words, it is impossible to know.
And have tasted of the heavenly gift.
And have tasted of the heavenly gift.
And were made partakers of the Holy Ghost.
And made partakers of the Holy Ghost.
And have tasted the good word of God.
And tasted the good word of God.
And the powers of the world to come.
And the powers of the world to come.
If they shall fall away, to renew them again unto repentance, seeing they crucify themselves, the Son of God, afresh, and put him to an open shame.
He's telling you it is impossible for you to say that you know God and then sin again, for you to then
repent again.
Repent again. So this is what Hebrews is telling you. So if I'm a Christian and I say, listen, I got saved September 31st, 1999. Remember the day. And then I sinned again after that. But guess what? I still know God. I'm still saved. What I've just told myself is, I'm going right to hell. Because he's telling you it's impossible to have that second sin removed. People read that and be like, so you mean to tell me if I sin after I'm saved, then I'm going to hell? No, that's not what I'm trying to tell you, stupid. I'm trying to make you back up and say that you were never saved.
It's like,
that's the mercy of God.
It's like,
stop trying to pretend like you saved, because if you do, you fall into this category.
It's like, trust me, say you never was. You still got
It's the plea bargain. The man is trying to get you off.
Yeah, she'll be like,
He trying to tell you, like, look, if you see him, you never seen him, never knew him. Just look, you don't know him. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta want. I'm being bad. Look, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta be like, no, look, just go with it. Mr. Brown told us to sit in that corner. Look, you know how quick the homie took that plea? We thought we was RPC, bro. He looked at him like, man, you know what I'm saying? Just go stand in the corner. You know what I'm saying, homie? You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen nobody get in the corner so darn fast. He might not even ask him to get in the corner now that I remember. I think he just chose the corner. Just like, man, whatever it takes. Like, that's the heart that we gotta have for God, all jokes aside, though. We gotta be like, man, I'm saved, right? I didn't preach. I'm up here preaching the word just now. Guess what? Sin tomorrow, I ain't never knew this man. I could have videos and videos and videos breaking down the word correctly. If I sin tomorrow, guess what?
Never know.
I never knew the man. I thought I did. Oops, I was wrong. Guess who that hurts? My pride. That makes me humble. I don't do nothing against God. We ain't harming God by doing that. God's still God whether I knew him or not. The only person that hurt is me, and that's why people don't want to do it. They don't want to let go of their own pride. They don't want to say that all these years was faking the funk for them. They want people to still know them as somebody who knew God. Because you know what? Because there's a lot of good things that I've done over my years, even though I sinned this one time. Care nothing about the good stuff you done. That stuff was worthless. What do you think Paul said?
Counted as nothing.
He said, everything behind me was counted as nothing. What, I'm going to sit here and claim some stuff if I'm a sinner? No, all that stuff, I don't care nothing about that stuff. What I got to do to be right in the future? I want you to die from my past sins. If I thought you died from my past sins back then, oops, I didn't even know who I was talking to back then. I thought I was talking to God, but I don't know who I was talking to. Oops, I got it right now, God. I ain't going to sin no more. And guess what? If I sin again after that, God, I was a liar. I've been a liar my whole darn life. I never darn knew you. I'm just running my darn mouth. I don't know who I'm talking. But now I know who I'm talking to. And you keep doing it until you darn get it right. And if you don't get it right, guess what? You're about going to hell anyway. You should have just stuck with the first one there. You wasn't going. Look, if you wasn't going to eventually pull it together, you might as well just stuck with the darn first repentance that was fake. You don't keep faking repenting for the rest of your life. Every Christian do I repent every day? That's a darn shame. You repent every day? What repent mean?
Turn away.
What else it mean?
Turn around.
You gotta change.
Change. It's a change of mind. What happens if you change your mind every day? What type of person are you?
Double-minded.
That's a double-minded person. What the book say about a double-minded person?
Shouldn't expect anything from the Most High God.
Books say a double-minded person shouldn't expect nothing. Let me tell you something. This book got something for every little angle you try to go. Every way that you try to just weasel out, the man is telling you you can only get in through the door. There's no other way. You can't weasel out and be like, oh, let me try to take this angle or look at it this way. Got something for you, I promise you. If you ain't never found it, come talk to me. Because I find all of them. I praise the Most High God. He let me find all of them. And my mind works like that. You ask these people at work, I look at, how can I get around this? You know what I'm saying? That's why they like me at work. Because I be looking like, all right, look, we ain't got the budget to buy what we need. And we ain't got the people either. All right, hold on. I got it. We can do it this way. And I find some rinky-dink, because, you know, they don't understand. They looking like, oh, he's a genius. I ain't a genius. I'm poor. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my whole life. All these people, they rich. You know what I'm saying? They always got resources and stuff. So if somebody tell them, no, we don't have no money for that, oh my gosh, I don't know how we're going to do it. I be looking like, no, everybody relax. Just rub these two pieces together. We put this over here. And you hold that side up. We're rolling, guys. You know what I'm saying? You keep moving. Yeah, it's ghetto. But I bet you would get the job done. I bet you we hit our quota. Right? That's what it's about. These people don't know how to deal with it. I do. So I approach God the same way. I'll be looking at it like, well, technically, God, you only said, dang it. You said that over here. All right, I can't use that. But God, you could probably, nope, that catches me right there. Trust me, I've tried it. I've tried it. I'm trying to tell you, my early days, I'm reading the thing like, man, it's a loophole somewhere. Dang it, no, not that one. Actually, that one got that one. That one got that one. This thing straight up and down. Somebody just got to teach it to us. That's it. All right? We good there. We didn't finish 26, did we?
Matthew?
Yeah,
we did.
We did finish it?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. All right. Any questions? Let's pray out.